Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're making another theme park in Planet Coaster 2. This time we're going to have a large lake in the middle of the park, and then we're going to have some themed areas going all the way around the park. We're going to do this in episodes, just because the ideas that I've got are going to take too long to do it in one. So we're going to have a few episodes around about the 2-hour mark each. But they're going to have the same kind of format as we usually do, nice and relaxed pace. So yeah, sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy it. So let's clear all of this from the edges. And I think we're good. So there wasn't a lot there that was stopping us from building a lake, which is great. So the entrance is going to be over here, which is the default area for when we started the map. So what I'd like to do is get this as large as possible and just start making the shape of the lake. It's going to be quite a large lake, so this may take some time. I also want it to look quite natural as well, so I want it to be not kind of a uniform shape, just kind of come out in bits, kind of like this. So I'd like one main part just here, and then we can bring it up around there. Just kind of smooth that out a little bit. Something like would be cool. Just need to bring this down a little bit more as well. Maybe just kind of smooth out some of these bits. Maybe not so much. I'm just going to put some water in, we'll see how it looks, and we can always just tweak it from there. Okay, so that's pretty cool. That's a really good size, actually. That's the kind of thing that I was hoping to achieve. One thing that I do need to do is just remove this rock that's just a little too high just here. So we'll just remove the water and just push that down. I just think actually maybe it might be quite nice to have at least something just in the middle, just like a kind of a centerpiece to look at from anywhere in the park. So if we just kind of get this looking nice and natural just here, we can put something on that as well, which would be quite cool. And then let's put the water back in and see how that looks now. Yeah, there we go. That's nice. This could potentially go a little bit higher as well, but for now I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, that's what I was kind of going for. So what I would like here is some concrete. So if we just go for the asphalt path, keep it the default kind of grey colour, and then I just want to build out this small parking area for the coaches, and that's probably enough. And I just want to flatten this a little bit. I think it's just a little bit uneven at this point. So if we just do that, I think that's probably big enough for this car parking area, which is nice. And then all we need to do is, if we just get another path coming off that, it doesn't have to be exactly in the middle. This is going to be kind of the main entrance area just here. So if we grab the coaches and just put a few at an angle, that should be enough. And then let's get appear to be a road leading in. Just here, which is fine. Just thinking the ground is a bit off again in terms of how flat it is. Okay, I think that's fine. So we want to have some kind of fence just in here. So nothing too crazy here. I'm just thinking the nice wall here is probably a good starting point. I think if we just take it back from the path a little bit as well, it gives us a little bit of space to put maybe some flowers or plants. Just want to scale this up to about 150%. There we go. And then just put that into position there. And then we can just start to duplicate that across. And then we'll do the same here. So we want to have a similar kind of gap between the path or the car park and the wall. So about there should be fine. Just getting to kind of close this off a little bit. I think actually what I'll do here is just grab one of those guests just to make sure. Well, she's not in the right place. Just to make sure we've got a good height of the wall. Yeah, I think that's great. So I'll just leave her there and then we'll just continue to build this wall. And then as we get to about here, we'll do the same again. If we just grab the multi-select tool and just reuse this one, it should be nice and simple. I think we've got a bit of a funky angle going on, but that's not too big a problem. We'll just remove that, snap, and then pull this into place. Yeah, I think that's okay. And then, oh, actually what I meant to do was I'm going to turn that into a group just so it's easier to copy over to the other side in a minute. I'll do that now. Just get to select just to there. So we'll group it and we'll copy it over to here. And then in fact what we'll do, instead of copying from over the other side, we'll just use this same group again and just rotate into position. Okay, so this time it's a little bit too big, but that's not too much of a problem. We'll do the same again for the back side of this. Cool. And inside that group, we'll just again make sure we're covering the whole length of that. So we only really want to focus on that side, not too concerned about the back of the car park. I'm just going to move this one in. There we go. And then obviously we need the entrance itself. So we'll use a blueprint for this. I'm not entirely sure which type I'd like to go with just yet, but I think something quite simple could work. So if we just have a look at this one, yeah, that's pretty perfect actually for what it was that I was trying to achieve. The brick here is quite nice as well, kind of goes with the walls that I've got. So I'm just going to move it this way a tiny bit to meet those walls. Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. Although it could potentially go this way just a little bit more, so it's more central, but that's great. So the actual entrances themselves then, so we need to grab the unthemed entrance, and we'll do it this way around. So let's get as many of these in as we can. I think we'll get 3 maybe, not quite. Well, we might get away with that. I think that should be okay. And then I think what I'll do here is just copy the texture of that, because I quite like that one. And then just have that all the way through to here. So where the car park meets the actual path towards the entrance. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. The actual park name itself isn't correct, so we'll just change that. And what I'd like to do is change the color of these 3 things as well to something more along like a rusty kind of orangey goldy type color. So I think that is pretty cool. Yeah, quite happy. And then obviously what we need to do now is just I think for the entrance part here, we'll just put trees in all the way around here, and then once we've done that, we can start to put some nice flowers or plants into these areas here between the wall and the car park. So I'm just going to reduce the size of this, and hopefully so I'll turn avoid paths off and see if we can get more trees in here, and then just remove any that do go over onto the path. It's a bit awkward sometimes using the paint tool. Okay, cool. So now I just need to go in and move any of these that are on the actual road itself. There we go. One more, I think. Yeah, those ones might be okay. I can probably leave the ones that are right on the edge, but obviously these ones are going to have to move. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. That's fine. So let's start with the plantation in here. So we just need to go into, I think we'll start with bushes, and we'll just set the nature region to tiger, temperate, maybe Mediterranean. We get some nice little things in there usually. So let's just kind of pick some nice things to fill in some of this area first off, and then work it from there. So that's quite a nice one. It is obviously too big for the space, but we can hopefully reduce the size of it. And then we'll turn axes onto worlds so that we're always in the right, you know, going the right way. So if we just fill all of this with these to begin with, and then we'll just put some slightly larger ones in just to fill in some of the space. So I'm just going to make sure we're following that wall. And then we just need to grab another one and rotate. Just follow this process all the way around. So I think the walls are going at a bit of an angle here, so we start to kind of lose that kind of straight edged effect, but I'll just kind of fill in the little bits with additional ones where we need to. Okay, so you can start to see it taking shape now. Just remove that one, we don't need that. And then we'll just grab some from over this side and just place them down. In fact, I'll create a new group as well, just so we don't have to do so much duplication. And we'll do the same here as we did before. Just get rid of any of these that overspill that we don't need. We'll just keep those ones there, but you won't be able to see them anyway. And then again, one last lot into this part at the end here. Lovely. The duplication of this. Cool. Okay, so that's the starting point. I think that's starting to look really nice. And then we just need to get some of the slightly bigger pieces and fill in. Like these types of things here are quite nice. The ferns. So let's grab a slightly smaller one. Let's have a look what have we got there. I don't like that one. I'm just going to turn off align to surface because it's causing a bit of a headache on those. Let's move out of the trees. So if we just start to put some of these about, might just have to reduce the size of it slightly because I think it just might be a bit overbearing. And then we can just kind of copy and rotate along. I think I rotated that the wrong axis. Yeah, I think this is looking quite nice. I won't have one in that corner because I think that's probably just too close to the other one. And then we'll just finish this off like that. I think there's more in that one actually, so maybe I will have one at the end. And then one in the middle as well. And then this one probably just needs to move over a little bit. And then let's have a look at what other types of flowers we can have. So they're quite nice, but the wrong color. So maybe, okay, that's too big. Oh, that's quite good. Yeah, I like that. So we can just also have some of these in the spaces as well. I think we've got a slightly bigger gap between these ones than we had between the others, so I'll just bring another one of these in. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think we'll leave these bits. We'll put some benches in. We'll just remove the filters and we'll have some very simple benches at this point. And then a couple of bins as well. So just the basic types of bin would be perfect here. Just while you're waiting for the rest of your family to hurry up and get off the coach. So yeah, we come in through here and we're into the park. So we've got this bit here, but I don't actually take any notice of the electricity and power, etc. So we won't be worrying about any of that. we've got this wall that kind of just stops randomly, but again, we won't concern ourselves too much with that. What I'd like to do is just continue this path. I want this to go straight. In fact, instead of doing that, I'll just use this just to keep it completely straight. Because I want this to go out onto a kind of jetty over the water and put a ride on it. Something like bumper cars or a Ferris wheel, something quite traditional. And then I'll just do the same all the way along here. Keep it nice and straight. There we go. I think that's pretty good. And then on here, I just want to change the texture to wood. I think we've got a little bit of wonkiness there. So if we just grab this, we might be able to fix that. Let's try that again. Nearly had it. Oh, I keep doing that. One last attempt, and if it doesn't work, I'll just give up. There we go. Perfect. So let's get the flat ride on here. So it's going to be something quite, in fact, that could be quite nice. I was thinking bumper cars or Ferris wheel, but this could be quite nice if they go out over the water as they spin. So let's try and get this central. And then have the entrance kind of here, exit kind of there. But this kind of opening area, I don't particularly want to have it kind of like proper queues and things like that. So it's going to be kind of traditional fairground rides in this area, just as you enter the park. So I'm thinking just have no queue lines. People can just kind of queue where they want in this part in particular. And then obviously here we're going to need some railings. So I'll put just some classic rails on just to save a little bit of time on creating anything custom just there. And then we'll put some shops or food stands on here as well to kind of give it that nice classic boardwalk vibe. Okay, so I think we've done that. That's fine. So we'll go to facilities and blueprints. There are a few that I've taken from the workshop that might work really nicely here. So they're just kind of very simple wooden buildings that would kind of line this very nicely. So I just need to find them. I mean, I've got some incredible stuff. Things like this here that I've taken from the workshop. Wow, that's enormous, isn't it? That could be really nice up on the top of that if we made that into a bigger hill. Anyway, I've gone off track a little bit. So yeah, facilities and shops, and then find them. So we've got these ones. And then we have these ones. No, not quite right for the vibe that I'm going for. There we are. Something similar to that, but without the resort theme. So where were they? Ah, here we go. Perfect. Got them. Right. So we're going to have a set of these over this side. We'll open them all up. Oh, I've got it on pause anyway. So a set of those over there. And then what I'd love to do is have another set on the other side. but with different shops. So oh wow, these are fully custom signs. Okay, did not know that. Okay, let's just take, oh, not that one. Okay, cool. So we go into custom facilities. So let's just remind ourselves what we had: sushi, vegan, juice, and coffee. So that's kind of healthy selections by the looks of it. So we're going to have a chief beef in here. I think the grid is slightly off, so we'll just put chief beef there. We'll put hot dogs in there, and then we'll get another couple of drinks. So gulpy soda and one more. Let's get milkshakes. Here we go. Lovely. So again, now we can just open these. And I realize I've not got signs on them anymore, but we can find the signs. So if we look for milkshakes and set align to surface back on, we can just add some of these in. So we've got dogs. And then we've got soda. No, not that one. It's gulpy, isn't it? There we go. Let's find. Oh, that's massive. Okay, and then one last one is the chief beef. That's huge. There we go. Lovely. That will do nicely. I'm just going to flatten this a little bit up to that point as much as I can't there because of the water, but that's fine. Might need to put some rails just on this edge part here, just so we don't have people disappearing over the edge. That side's fine. I just need to go back now again and just put those back. There we go. Perfect. That's looking great. Obviously, we've got a lot of work to do here. Just going to open the park now as well. Let people start roaming in. I'm going to want a lot of trees in and around this area here. So this kind of boardwalk area is the main point of view for the lake, just for here at least. We're just going to get some more bins. That's quite a nice bin, but it's sorcery theme, sci-fi theme. Yeah, I'm just thinking very basic bins just for on here. Bring that in a little bit. And then we'll get some benches, maybe just these type. And then some picnic benches might be quite cool as well. Where we'll use this one. Right, so these are going to go just in front of the food stalls. Nice. Just thinking maybe another couple of bins just closer to the tables as well. And then if we look at some parasols, we'll just get something quite basic. Just this one might be quite nice. Snap to position on, which is a really cool feature that I didn't actually know the purpose of previously, but this just makes life so much easier when you're putting things in. It knows exactly where you want to put it, which is just absolutely brilliant. It was another video I was watching of somebody that pointed that out to me. So in case you didn't know that, it's a brilliant tip. So yeah, that area is all looking really nice. I just want to kind of open this up a little bit. Get some, let's put the texture back and then just kind of, I'll switch those rails off first. Is this still the wood? Yeah, it's still the wood. It's okay, I'll go over that in a minute. Yeah, so just kind of start coming out this way a little bit. And then we'll do the same on the other side as well. Because this is where we're going to start pathing off into the different areas of the park. I do need to copy this texture and then just go over all of this as well, just to make sure it's all matching. And then I think some more trees just around here to kind of frame it a little bit better. And then this path over this side begin somewhere around here. We'll kind of curve it round. And then this is going to be the first properly themed area. Again, we'll kind of have some trees around here. Just so you know you're going somewhere different through there. So let's get some more rides. Ferris wheel in this area is probably going to be a must, because that's the type of vibe I want from this area in particular. And where are the dodgems? So the dodgems are definitely going in here. Oh, we've got a grand carousel as well, which I think is also perfect for this. Okay, so dodgems. Now I know that I could probably just search for dodgems. I don't know why I haven't seen it yet. There we go. It took me a while. Let's put that right bang in the middle there. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Excellent. So next thing to do is to go into the paths and customize these to match the flooring beneath, and also the rails just to match the rest of them all the way around at the front of the park where we've got the boardwalk. Okay, so this is perfect. I have accidentally added rails up on there though, which we don't want. So, where have we gone? There we go. Nice. Cool. So we've got a few rides. Let's get some benches and some bins and some kind of waiting areas for people while they wait for their family members to come off the rides. Okay, so I've just realized as well, we're going to need toilets. This is perfect for this themed area. So we're going to get a couple of these in. Let's try and kind of separate them at a similar spacing. And that should be okay for now. I'm looking at some of these vans as well. So kind of little trucks that we can have just dotted about in this area might be quite cool. Let's turn off this angle snap so we can get a more controlled angle like that. Pip shot juice. I think we've got the latte and the pip shots over on the boardwalk, but there's no harm in having some more here. Gulpy, again, we've got hats, fantastic. Oh, pizza pen. Pizza pen's quite a cool one. And then we can just put that face in that way. And then maybe just one more, some ice cream. And then in here we can get some of those picnic benches again. So we'll use the same style. Just put a few in. Don't really want them too close to the bathrooms, but I suppose that's probably okay. Excellent. And then obviously bins. Gonna need a couple of bins, and then we're gonna need to open all these up. So I'm just gonna go into the attractions and shops and do it this way because it's a lot easier than individually selecting them. So that's just like a nice little kind of pit stop area. Now we've got a few rides, really nice. Let's have a think about, so if we just kind of lowered some of this, we can just have a nice little, oh, not that low actually, not to the point where those trees are. So let's just do it to about there. We can just put some water in. Oh, we don't want clear water, we want natural. Oh, actually, maybe we do want clear water. That doesn't look very nice. Yeah, that's much better. Actually, if we paint this a little bit as well, yeah, we get a much nicer vibe from that. That's pretty nice. We're going to need to put some railings on just up to a certain point here. Oh, okay, we're getting that again. Yeah, so go back in here, remove the water. See, that's one of the real frustrations with this, is that you can't do anything with paths if there's water underneath them, which is really, really awkward. But we're going to put that back in now. Did it go a bit higher last time? Can we get that a little bit higher? Turns out no. Cool. Yeah, I quite like that. It's interesting. Nice little bit of water to look at. Got some rides. They're all open. Just going to speed this thing up and see where people are gathering. Yeah, so they are kind of congregating in the right types of areas. They're creating their own little lines, which is great. The further we go into the park and the more themed we make it, the less it's going to be. Excuse me. The less it's going to be like that. We're going to do basically some proper rides. I'm just going to get a stamp delete brush and hopefully try and get this exactly central. And then we can do something nice in this middle bit here. I wish these people would hurry up. Let's go. That's nice. And then just put some bushes in, like we had at the entrance. Let's try and find the same ones. I can't remember where they were now. Oh, I think we filtered it actually. I filtered it by specific regions, didn't I? Which made it a lot easier to find. Yeah, let's do that again. Let's get it to Mediterranean, Tiger and Temperate. So we just wanted to get rid of the tropical, really. Here we go. I think these were the ones that I was just looking at a minute ago and just didn't recognize them. Let's grab them again. Okay, so stick to surface is off. I don't know why, but I just feel like these are really nice. Just to add a little bit of depth and texture to the ground. And then we can just put some, I think, trees on this occasion, actually. And then maybe some rocks as well might be quite nice. Wow, that's really some tree. Nature, region. Oh, I've got Mediterranean on, haven't I? That's why we're getting that type of thing. I want something reasonably simple. Like something like that will do. And then we'll just randomly rotate and just put maybe 4. And we just need to move this one over slightly. And then maybe this one as well, just to spread them out a little bit more evenly. Cool. So look at that, they're really nice trees. And let's get some rocks. Let's have a look at the rocks. So temperate rocks, something quite small. I want random rotation and scale on. I don't want them to be massive. So let's just see how this might look. A few rocks. Get out of the way. That look nice. I think it looks nice. So try a few different types of rocks so they're not all just the same. Do want them to be reasonably small. Absolutely enormous, aren't they? I think it's just going to have to be mostly this one. Some of these are absolutely massive. This one really. I think if we were to just grab a bunch of these rocks, we might get away with just duplicating the whole way down and just have the same kind of pattern. So let's do a new group and just copy it, kind of keep the gaps where the trees are. This might be quite nice. And maybe with this last one we just rotate it. And then that's there. Let's have a look at how that looks. Yeah, I definitely don't hate it. I think that looks alright. I think if we just put a few of these kind of things just kind of poking out here and there, definitely think that'll help the look. So let's just turn these off again now. Then we can just plonk them in and around randomly, just to break up the fact that they are the same thing over and over again. in some of the gaps. You know, just to add an extra layer of depth, and then see if we can get something quite small again in some of the gaps. Although I'm not sure if we need it now. I think that looks really nice with those additions. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I think that looks great. Just to add a little bit of visual interest as we walk down towards here. So there's quite a lot of space for kind of walking around and whatnot. So yeah, let's head over this way, and we can start working on our first area, which the idea that I had in mind was a spooky themed area using quite a few of the sorcery pack pieces and some of the workshop items that I've downloaded from other people's creations. So there's quite a lot that I picked up, and I do want to try having a look at some of this stuff. So the entrance, I was thinking, would just be kind of a bunch of these spooky tree type things joined together. I don't think they're in the sorcery pack though. I think they're in a different one. So it's, yeah, these here. So just want to have this kind of archway that goes over the top. Let's put a line to surface on this occasion, and let's just see how we can make this look. So we just want to join them. And just make it look really gnarly. And then we'll just keep duplicating that and rotating it until we get to a point that we're happy with. And then once we've got it to a certain point in the middle, we can kind of just duplicate and rotate around the other side so that it meets. So I think that looks pretty good actually. And then if we just grab that, duplicate it over here, and then spin it round, we've got the beginnings of what could be a nice archway into this area. And I think we just need to grab another couple of these pieces. Just going to go on the world axis for this. Yeah, there we go. I think that's cool. So one last thing that I might try is just duplicating the whole thing again behind itself, just to see if I can make it look a little bit thicker. It might not work, but we can try it. Why is that not working? So multi-select that. Oh, there we go. Create a group, and then we'll duplicate it again. And maybe move it down a little bit just to give it a little bit of depth as you walk through. Yeah, that's really nice. I love that. Okay, perfect. So now we need a sign. So let's have a look for just a nice kind of damaged wood effect. And then we can put the text on it ourselves. Doesn't necessarily need to be a sign as such. Let's have a look at this one, for example. Yeah, that could work. fact, it does let us put text on it. So what was I going to call this? Something really basic. Spooky wood. Yeah, that's all right. Let's do it as like a dark-ish, medium-y red. Okay. And then we'll just put that probably around there. And then we'll have to rotate that by 45 degrees so that it's hanging down. Get it into position. We'll just get something chain-like, or some kind of rope or something that's going to be holding that in place. I think we do have chains. There we go. Okay, obviously they're going the wrong way, but we can fix that by doing this. I'm just going to make them slightly bigger as well, and rotate them 45 degrees into place. That's not 45 degrees. There we go. And then we'll just move them. Oh, I think I've just duplicated those actually instead of moving them. So we'll try that again. There we go. So we want to move into position. Just select each of them individually and then pull them to the right point. Yep, just about there. That's cool. Yeah, I like that. And then in the sorcery pack, we have this really nice fence piece. This one, which is going to be the one that we use in this area. Just need to move that ever so slightly. Yeah, so we'll start working on this to follow the path as best we can, because obviously the path's kind of curving around, and these aren't going to want to play particularly nicely with that. So I'm going to have these coming like directly from the archway, and then we'll just duplicate. It doesn't need, like I said, it doesn't really need to be exact. It just needs to kind of follow the general flow of the path. So we can create a new group and then just duplicate that across, and hopefully that should just follow the same lines from there. I'll just bring it this way a tiny bit. Okay, so that's the beginnings of it. And then we have this really nice lamp post. Was it that one? I'm not sure it was that one actually. No, it was a nicer one than that. Let's go into scenery theme, sorcery, and find it. There we go. Beautiful. It's absolutely perfect for this area of the park. Now, I'm a big fan of Halloween, and I just think this is the perfect time of the year for me to do this and spend a bit of time on a spooky, sorcery, Halloween type themed area in the park. So that's what I'm going to be doing for this entire episode, basically. So I'm just going to bring these last two pieces round here. Cool. It might be a nice place to have ride just in here, and we'll have like a little dirt track that goes through to it as like the path, or at least the queue path. So let's pick flat rides and see if we've got something that's themed in a kind of a dark theme. Merlin's Tower. See, that could work. That could potentially work. Let's say we have it up a little bit so we can see it. And then we'll just raise the terrain up to it. Let's get rid of these trees that are in the way. That's fine from there. Yeah, I think they're okay. We'll have path coming down from the exit first off. We'll kind of figure out where we want to go with that. Probably just steps. And then, well, obviously we need this to go to the ground now. Nope, we're going through the ground. If we, yeah, I think that's okay. And then we just need to do some queue paths. I don't know what that one is. I think, is that the... what is that? Just wonder if it's set to have priority queues. Oh yeah, so we're gonna, I think we'll turn off priority queues because it's just an additional complexity that I don't really want to have to deal with right now. And then we'll just pull this down. And then bring it around here. Is that going through the ground again? Yep. Okay. Yeah, it's not exactly what I had in mind when I said like a bit of a dirt path. But I think that is something I can work with. I'm just going to raise the terrain around the path. Let's take that intensity down a little bit because I'm going to just change the lighting as well. It's just all gone a little bit too dark. So I just want to get this looking more like a natural kind of winding path upwards as opposed to it being like frame, you know, a metal frame. Just kind of get it to around here and then bring this all the way up. Just get rid of some of these trees again because they don't look natural anymore. And then once we've got this to a certain point, we should be able to just bring that round all the way. that's quite an interesting little gap. But I think I'm just going to close it up and not really do anything with it. I want to do the same just there so you don't see any of the frame. Okay, this is getting quite awkward now with the the trees everywhere. Well, let's get out, let's get out, let's get out. Right, there we go. Again, just to... Right, I think now that I've done that, I might be able to get away with what I initially had in mind, which was to have that dirt path. So I may be able to get invisible paths put on here. Oh, not all the way. Just to here. And I think I just want to get rid of, is it the curbs? Yeah, is it the curbs? Yeah, there we go. Get rid of that one as well. Yeah, I think that's... And then just some steps at that last bit, because I think we do need them there. And then if we just get this brush and just have soil to 12, was it? No, it wasn't 12, was it? It was more like 4, I think the standard path. Intensity needs to be increased, and then we'll just indicate that this path goes all the way around here. And then there's the exit path. I think that looks really good. So do we need to... Yeah, so we tested it now, and there we go. So this is okay. I'm just wondering if we can do something about queue paths being invisible as well. I think we can, by the looks of it. So what I'll do is just grab the brush again and just do the same here. I'll do this first just so I can see exactly where it needs to be when I remove it. Although having said that, it's probably not the safest without rails. Especially here, yeah, so obviously there's going to have to stay. Okay, actually, I'm not too concerned about it. Just want to get some kind of wooden supports for that part that's overhanging the path. Viking lamppost, Viking palisade. No, we don't want Viking themed. We don't want anything on the grid either. If I just look for the word support, that might help. Wooden support plank. Let's have a look. Can we make it a little bit bigger? Yes, we can. Okay, I think that's perfect. So we just want to have that look like it's holding this part up. Maybe a slightly different angle, and then just pull that down into place. Yeah, about there, something like that. And then I think it probably needs to be twisted this way as well. Just duplicate that a couple of times. Sorry, just one more. Slightly better angle. Okay, it's not really my strong point, this type of thing. Styling things up custom, but I think that is fine. Just want to paint little bits of mud in and around all of this. So just bring the intensity down, bring the size up, just to kind of make it a little bit more moody, because I feel like it's all just a little bit too neat. Some soil, maybe some rock. And we'll just fill trees in around the whole thing. Obviously, it's not spooky wood without trees, right? Just make sure there's no trees on paths, which of course there are. Okay, so that's fine. That one got away with that one. And then, yeah, so just the same again here. It's fine. That one is not fine. And that one is also not fine. You can go right on the edge. Good. Excellent. So that's the first ride in this area complete. I just want to change the lighting slightly. Don't want it too dark. I want it slightly darker than it currently is, just to give a little bit more of that spooky vibe whilst I'm building this area, because it'll help get some more of these in as well, just either side of the path. We should probably put some kind of ride entrance on there, actually. Let's see if I've got anything that's already built from the sorcery theme. Okay, so they're chimneys. That's not necessarily very useful here. Sorcery shop fascia. What's going on? We've got these big boulders which are quite cool. I'm just going to turn off that snap to position. I don't actually need it here. Can we get away with this looking decent? Yeah, it's okay. Maybe a couple of little things in here. I love those spiders, actually. They look really good. Just some like chains and things. Turn these off. Might be able to get just some chains pointing downwards. Yeah. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's alright. It looks fine. little entranceway. And let's just duplicate this as well. Oh, it's not the advanced, just the standard. Oh, it's up in the sky. Okay, get that. We'll do it again. We'll just make sure it's sticking to the surface now. Okay, cool. We'll just continue this around here as well. Light. Have a look at some of these rocks as well, because I just want this to all look really kind of, well, spooky, I guess. Spooky, wood, dark, that type of thing. And then I just want more trees as well, but I seem to just having trouble putting them in. Where are we? There we go. Yeah, so it's an okay start to this area, I think. It's fine. So next we need to get some kind of gravestone-y type looking things. So I'll have a look in sorcery and see if there's anything that we can use for that. So there's these types of things that could potentially work. Let's have a look. Let's just take build off. Now, what's this? That's perfect. Oops. Let's put that on relative. Yeah, that's a perfect little gravestone, isn't it? So if we just grab that a few times, maybe rotate a few. Let's just turn off angle snap and see if we can get these looking natural. Let's see if there's another one that's similar. Let's have a look at these webs, actually. These webs could be quite cool. So we can just have these dotted around. Let's get them in and amongst the trees. Have a look at what else we can put down here. Maybe some kind of cauldron. What's this? What's that? Okay, so that's another cauldron type thing. There's a lot of stuff here, isn't there? Yeah, I quite like that. Just nice little bits of scenery. And these are some little lights just to give a little bit of ambience. Get some of these lights on these little walls. And then what I want to do now is just change the terrain to dirt. So that mud's quite nice because it's quite a wet looking mud, and you get that lovely reflection on the floor. I think that looks great. I'll just put little bits of the dry dirt around there as well. Lovely. Let's have a look at this grave. I think it's just rotated a little bit too much. Let's just see what else we've got. I know we've got these lovely spiders actually. Might be just a bit too big. Let's see where we could put one of those. We just need to make it slightly smaller. I do like the animatronics on that. It's quite, oh, that's awesome actually. Love that. Okay, let's have a look at, oh, so these are all just lamps, aren't they? I love that. Yeah, maybe just put some on this side as well. Oh, put one on this rock. Let's try and get, there we go. Oh, yes. And then we'll need some webbing. Just in there. Let's get another one. Oh, that's not right. Let's try a different. Let's see if we have. Oh, so we've got those little stone spiders as well somewhere. We used those up there, so I'll just grab a couple of those and put them. Oh, you're floating. Well, let's move you onto there. That's cool. Let's change the colours maybe to black. And then possibly get some kind of light. Let's have a look at that one. So that's really small. Can just put them on these trees actually. Well, that hasn't gone on the tree though, has it? Right, let's just go back. So that one's on the tree. And then if we just duplicate that, just light up. Some of these webs. Yeah, that's cool. Love it. Let's go over here and grab another one of these graves. Maybe just have these laid down. And then see if we can put some other things in here. Yeah, they're quite cool. Let's get some more lamps as well, just standard ones. Start to just kind of bring this round. We're going to branch this path off in a minute. So we'll do that now, just so we can kind of see what it is that we're going to be doing from here. So if we bring this round, I don't know, let's say to around here. We've lost curbs because we took them off just before, didn't we? So we're going to put the curbs back on. Get them all the way on. And then let's have a look at another ride. Absolutely perfect. Let's get this in somewhere around here. And then get the paths connected. So we want the exit path to just come to about there. And we'll get the queue path to go. We'll wind this round a little bit. And we'll just connect it somewhere about there. Although that looks terrible, the join, so we'll try that again. Okay. Let's get this opened up. Oh, let's just make sure it actually swings and doesn't hit those trees. It's a very interesting looking ride. I think we're okay. I think it doesn't quite hit those trees, does it? I'll just put some more trees in around here. Just want to get some of this area filled in a little bit more. And then maybe get some rocks just in here to kind of block out that view of the road at the back. Cool. And then let's start having a look at some of the buildings as well. So we've got quite a lot of scenery for the sorcery pack. And we can just start putting buildings in. Oh, that's a cool building actually. Let's make a little village. So we've got gift shops in there as well. How do we get in? Okay, so it's there. Okay, so I'm just going to start putting the buildings around. That's quite cool. Just going to have that up on a hill, actually, because I think that looks quite nice. Castle. Let's have a look at this one. A small, like a old medieval looking building. That's quite cool. Let's get that in there. Witch's Brew Cavern. Cavern? Let's put you over here and have a look at... Oh, okay. That's cool. Ah, this was one of the packs that I got, actually. So it's like pumpkin-themed stuff. So I think the idea with this is to just use these individually. This is quite a cool one. Love that. Okay, you're floating. And this tree is also pretty cool. So I'm going to use that a few times as well. Just to continue with this theme. Nice. Okay, so also got these bushes. Just to give a little bit of texture as well around the edges. I think that looks really good. And then we just need to get the paint tool again and just get some more mud in and around, and some of the soil as well. And we can just get rid of these. Cool. And then we'll continue, have a look at what else we've got. So we've got a train station, we've got this tree. Oh, this tree is awesome. That's actually perfect for somewhere like this. Actually, having said that, I think it might be nice as like a centerpiece that we put like a path around. I think these ones can probably go. And then we'll just move this across so it's more central to that path, and then we can kind of branch paths off around that, and then just continue filling up this area. So many amazing buildings that people have made here. I just need to raise some of these. Could probably just get some of the ones that don't actually have any actual use just around this bit as well. Just so we've got something to look at as we go around the queue. So we've got, is that the same one? I've just clicked the same one. So we just need some of the buildings that don't have any actual use. Let's have a look at this one. So that's a church style building. Okay, something like that could be fine. Just turned on the side because we're not actually going to use that. Okay, so that is going to have shops in it. That's quite nice. I'm just going to start with the terrain raising now, just to get these looking good. We'll fix these little bits. Just reduce that a little bit, just until we get to the point where that tree is in the right place, and then just flatten all this around here, and then just do the same. I think we're good there, aren't we? Just to about there. And then we're going to need to raise this up as well. Just until these lights are on ground level. Then just flatten it out. And we can roughen it up a little bit as well in a minute. That's quite a cool building. Oh, actually we need to go up just there. Do we need to go up a little bit more? Just where the actual building is. So these lights are kind of sunken into the ground now. Yeah, that looks all right. Just kind of smooth this up just a little bit, so it looks a little bit more of a natural hill. There we go. Cool. So this, obviously this shop here came with a bit of path that doesn't really fit with the theme, so we'll just paint that off. It's a bit janky there, but we'll just grab the standard one. We'll continue this to... Oh, no, we won't do that. We will use the stamp builder at full size, and hopefully this should just join nicely. We'll go to about there. And then we need to just get circular stamp removal tool and just stamp over this so people don't go walking through. Yeah, I think that's okay. Then obviously kind of fix little bits here so that we can join up these shops. And I think that is it a gift shop? Just copy the existing texture and just kind of fix that a little bit. Excellent. Let's open this up. So we've got a latte. Oh, we need to get rid of those as well. A latte shop here. So we'll just use the smallest path to get through to that. Okay. Let's get some more mud around these parts here. And I'm just going to grab these lights. So I'll just split that from the building so I can just copy it. Just put some of these around here as well. Like this. Okay, so we do need to put, oh, hello. We'll put some trees in just in this bit here. So we'll just create custom, grab some trees. Let's get out of the way of the ride. This is awkward. There we go. Because we do want to have this really sort of woody vibe. Considering we've called it Spooky Wood. Do need plenty of these trees about. And we'll just put a load of these around. And then some of the slightly bigger ones as well. It's right in the way of the ride now. Get out. And then maybe some rocks as well. Oh, so we've got these. These are clustered rocks. And just put some of these about as well. For a bit more atmosphere. And then some normal ones. And we just need to find some at a decent size. And we're just going to have the rotating scale on as well. And maybe another one of these. of course, some pumpkins. And then some of the smaller ones as well. I love how they light it up as well. I think it looks really cool. There is quite a bit of space around here. I'm not really sure what to do with. Maybe just some more rocks. Just dotted around. Yeah, that looks all right. We'll just keep putting some of these around as well, just to fill in some of the gaps. And then just grab some bushes. Some large-ish. Yeah, like this type of thing. And then we can just kind of tuck them into the rocks a little bit as well, just so we've got a little bit of greenery in and amongst them. And then we can just also fill in some of this space. I'll turn off the rotation as well. It's a bit awkward sometimes. And I'll just put some more of these around here as well. Turn off align to surface and just have everything on the ground. Just get some creeping through the rocks there as well, just to make it all look a little bit more natural. Yeah, don't dislike that. I think that looks all right. Maybe we just get some over this side as well. Cool. So we need to put some shops in here. So let's have a look what we can have. Let's get some ice cream. And let's get a gift shop. So we need to get the path going up towards that. So let's get that as an 8 so we can get both. Okay, so we need to change that path back to one that we've got everywhere else. There we go. And I think we did one just up here as well. So there we go. Right. I'm going to round off this piece, and that's okay. Let's see what that looks like if we round that off as well. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I just want some more. Is that actually, before I continue, is that a functional building? I don't think it is. I don't think we can actually Oh, is it a restaurant actually? Okay, so we can use that. I will just raise this up a little bit more at the back. Is that not quite at the right height, is it? Okay, might be better. There we go. It's on all kinds of different levels now. Right. I think it needs to come up just a tiny bit more. There we go. Perfect. And I will just have a look in here. So it is a functional restaurant. Okay, that's awesome. So I can hook that up to a path that kind of just comes off here. And we'll just have that as an invisible one with curbs. We'll make that the smallest path we can. I'll just come off there. And again, we just need to paint a little path like that. That looks really cool, actually. I love that. Toilet cubicles. There's more than just toilet cubicles in there. There's this. Oh, no tables connected. Okay, so how do we do this now? Add table. We don't want to add tables. We need to connect tables that exist. Okay, so add to selection. We just do it like that and then do the same with those ones. Oh, there's some tables outside. Oh, they're... Ah, it's a separate restaurant. Okay. So confirm selection and then we can open that. And then we'll do the same in here. So it's this one, isn't it? Right, here we go. Connect, confirm. Connect to path, of course. So we'll do the same with this. In fact, we could just connect it to that one, can't we? And then just do the same again here with a bit of mud leading to it. And then once we've done that, we should be able to get this open. The facility should be connected to a path. Or is it facing the wrong way? Unusual. Is that going to work? Well, it lets us open it anyway. I'm not sure if that's going to actually allow people to use it though. So in here we need to open these up as well. Brilliant. I love how the lights come on when you switch them on. Amazing. Right, I'm just going to come out and just make sure everything's open. No, so we're missing that one. Wow, there's quite a few actually. Okay, so we're good. We've got everything open that's there. Now, we probably need to put some trees in this bit. And I'm going to up the intensity here. And hopefully... Oh, no, not in the water though. Maybe we'll just bring that down again. I don't want that gap to look too weird. Yeah, I think that looks alright now. So let's put some more buildings in. So we'll just... If we say Source Frontier Workshop, we should get... let's try searching for spooky or sorcery. Home of the Alchemists. Interest. Oh, that's cool. Wow, what's that? So that's pretty awesome. Not sure about this guy. that can go. But apart from that, that's incredible. So we've got a pip shot juice counter. So let's get a large path going to that. Well, just have that as a dirt path as well. What's this? Let's get rid of that. Oh, I do like that. That's pretty cool. Right, let's get another ride. Let's get a coaster, because we've got plenty of shops, plenty of restaurants. Can we get a coaster in here that kind of winds around? Let's have a look at... maybe not that. Family launch coaster. So these are all just taken from the workshop as well. Right, let's have a look at this one. Actually, that's quite cool. I like the look of that here. Right, let's get... Let's get the queue. Can the queue start there? Is that a bit weird? The existing texture, let's just get... It's too big, so let's bring that down to the normal size and then end it there. I'm not sure what this minder. I'm not really sure what that means, but yeah, I don't hate that because that's kind of in keeping with the sorcery theme. I think that looks pretty cool, actually. I'm not sure about colours. Let's have a look at the colours. Maybe darken it a little bit and bring it more in line with the rest of the theme. Let's just see how... Oh, that looks pretty good. A lighter green and maybe darker red here. Yeah, I like that. Nice. Okay. So, just want to get some more trees. In just in this bit here. So I just wonder if the spooky trees are in nature or somewhere else. No, they're not in nature, are they? So just wondering how this might look if we just kind of put a few of these bits in. What's that? Oh, it's a shop fascia. Okay, we don't want that. Because these might look all right leading up to this. And then we can potentially just put some normal trees in as well. And then I think just up here as well might look quite nice. A couple of trees. Oh, actually, that red tree is pretty cool. I'm going to just dot some of those about, actually, because they're really nice. With that kind of spooky vibe that we're going for. Let's just put some in and around everything else. Cool. Yeah, I noticed this goes through the ride just before as well, so I'm just going to make sure none of that is in the way. I think that's probably a bit too close, so we'll just move that one over as well. But apart from that, I think we're more or less okay, aren't we? I'm just going to get some of the autumn trees in just for that colour as well. Just kind of come around here. We're going to have some path that comes off this actually to go round to the next themed area. So if I have a look where that might start, it could potentially come off here, and if we just get a different texture on this, let's just try something like this, and then just weave this around the outside. Let's just go for a dip. And then we can weave this around, and then this is where our next part will begin. We can then get another one that joins there, and then possibly just... Can we weave... Oh, we don't need that to go in the air. That can just be on the ground. I'm not sure if we've got enough room here, but we'll try it. And then that can also join up. So we've got a few different ways that we can get to this next section. I'm not keen on this railing. I think it looks terrible. So we're going to just change the railing. Let's go for something just really simple. I think it's still coloured. So how do we change the railing colours? Ah, there we go. That's how. We'll just change that to black. And paint over all of this. Come on. I should have probably just done this at the start. Okay, that took me too long. Right, let's get this terrain built up nicely to the path. Just so it looks a little bit more natural and less just like a raised path. Just kind of get it to a certain point, and then we can just bring this all the way around like so. Oops, no, it's not the right tool. There we go. Just to somewhere around there. Yep, looks good. And then up here, we'll just do the same. Just raise this a tiny bit, just there. Cool. So this is where we're going to start our next area. So if we just get some more trees just to kind of box it off a little bit. I definitely think there's more we can do in this area, though. I don't feel like we're finished. What I'm gonna do is just take this, and from this point on, I'm gonna get rid of all of the path styling. Get rid of these curbs as well. Yep. And then get it to there, and then we'll just paint again. I think it's this one that we'll keep using. So I just want to make it feel a little bit more like we're going off the main kind of area and into the, again, sort of back into the woods, if you like. And then obviously if we're going back into the woods, we're going to need a few more trees. But it's going to be quite difficult to fit some in here. So I think we'll probably just have to do them manually. And then we've got space to put some more up on the hill behind. Obviously being careful not to to do exactly this. Get right in the way of the roller coaster. I'll just move this one over as well. Excellent. Okay, so I'm just going to have a little look at how this kind of feels, the vibe of this as we go through. So we're going through here, enter the spooky wood. We've got a few bits of scenery. Got a ride here. It's quite nice up there. Another ride there with a spider on top. Lovely. A few sort of shops, restaurants, little village feel. And then we've got the roller coaster at the end. I think that looks really cool. And then again, like I said, we're going to start moving around to the next area round there. So one thing that I have just realised is that we haven't got many toilets or benches or bins. So we are going to have to get some of those in. Right, where can we fit this? So we've got a sorcery toilet block here. Just wondering, can this fit in there? Or just a little bit further back? And then again, we just use the path, the natural kind of mud path to walk down towards it. Let's get rid of the tree that's sitting inside if we can. It's going to be really difficult to get hold of, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Perfect. Right, let's see, make sure that we're not kind of in the way of anything there. So I think that's all right. And then we'll just get a path to there. And then do the same thing as we usually do. Just get that. Cool. Let's see if there's any more toilets that might fit the theme. I think that's the one that we just used. So if we just search for sorcery again. So we've got fairy tale toilets. Something small would be good. Wow, that's quite a cool building. Skyview Cafe. Halloween Castle. Oh, that's the thing that I looked at earlier and said that I might have that on the hill in the middle. Actually, while I'm thinking about that, I'm just going to see how that might look. See which... okay, so that's the entrance to the castle. If I was to put this down about there, Jeez, that's amazing. Why is it... Why does it stop here? I'm going to have to test this one, obviously. Why does it stop there? Is it one of those that... Well, I don't know. Ah, okay, so it doesn't actually make it. That's quite interesting. Wait, no, it's not that interesting. It's not making it at all, is it? Okay. Maybe I have to finish that myself. Wow, this is crazy. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of build this up. And see how this can look. Try and get it looking natural. Probably gonna need to take the water out actually. I feel like it's gonna cause a problem. Okay. Sure we're not getting in the way of the coaster. Yeah, so we're kind of getting in the way of the coaster, but we can always alter that as we go. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Obviously the coaster doesn't work. Doesn't actually work, but it's something we can deal with. Let's just check here. Let's cut that through. And then we're probably going to want to just bring this round here as well. Wow, that looks incredible. Oof. Yeah, I'm going to keep that. I will get to that. That is fantastic. Wow. Whoever put that together on the workshop. Where was that? Is it in facilities? I feel like I need to do a shout out. I can't actually see who that's by. That's, yeah, I love that. That is definitely staying. So yeah, let's see if we can get any more toilets in, because that's where we were at the time. And we just kind of went off topic a little bit. Should we just get another one of these? If we can. Does that? Oh no, that's not good. Let's get rid of that. Okay, no, we'll just leave it. If anyone needs the toilet, they know where to go. Yeah. That's about the only option they've got. So yeah, I think it looks really good. That is incredible. What's all this complaining about? Untested. Park entrance is not accessible from the exit of whatever that is. Let's go to that. Oh yeah, obviously we don't need to worry about that. So I'm just gonna try and get out of there first. And we'll just select this and we'll just turn it off. Obviously it's gonna need some work. But yeah, I'm quite happy with where we are. So I am going to leave this episode here. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. If you do, please do consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It really does help. I've said this before, but I am sorry I haven't been particularly active on the channel. The plan is to be more active. But yeah, thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.